Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back to Democracy 3. My name, of course, is Obit Potato, and today we're going to try and get this video to 6 likes. 6 likes, it's a big aim, but you know what? I think we can do it. I think we can do it collectively if we all pull together and like that video. Then yeah, we'll get there. So make sure you smash that like button right now, and yeah, let's get started. Okay, so last episode we had a little bit of a problem in the fact that cyclones were developing, and you know what? I don't even care. There's nothing really we can do about that. It gets to a certain point in the game where you really can't control these things. And obviously our CO2 emissions are increasing. They're low, but they are increasing. Not too concerned about that. We're just gonna keep on releasing CO2 emissions because it really doesn't matter for us. Not really a problem. Things aren't gonna change. Like, no matter the things aren't gonna change. Cyclones is never gonna go away. Let's make that absolutely clear. Like, even if we completely stripped out CO2 emissions, it wouldn't matter because the year is increasing so rapidly that it wouldn't matter. So the cyclones are never going away. However, we do have 5 green dots, which is awesome. I don't even know of other green dots that you can get. This probably isn't all of them, but it's a heck of a lot of them. And that's awesome. That's really good. That really shows that we're very careful about our economy. Now, what we are watching, though, is GDP. GDP, it sort of needs to get to about this height before we can sort of be safe. I would like to see another increase next turn, and we're going to go to that next turn right now. We're running an even smaller budget deficit, which is awesome, which is really good. However, next turn, I think we're going to be running a bigger budget deficit because our income will drop off as our GDP decreases, which is strange because the global economy is making a very strong recovery. So I'm not quite sure why our GDP is going down. A bit worrying, but hey ho, it doesn't really matter. Okay. Wow. I mean, just looking at the situation from afar, we're doing really good. We're doing really very good. Foreign aid is maxed out. Let's have a look at international trade. International trade is actually going rather well, actually. It's reducing the food price, increasing GDP, and it's increasing air travel, all of which are very good for us. Compulsory foreign language classes, that's fine. That doesn't really matter for us. It's reducing racial tension, increasing foreign relations, and increasing international trade. So we're clearly very popular among other countries, which is very nice indeed. Ban same-sex marriage. We're going to allow same-sex marriage because liberals are less happy than conservatives. Farmers don't seem to like us. I'm not surprised, to be honest, buddy. I'm not surprised. See, I don't understand why farmers don't like the Food Standards Agency, because surely if you're producing good food, then obviously farmers are going to be rewarded by that. So if you do know why farmers don't like the Food Standards Agency, then go ahead and leave a comment down below. Why not? Middle income people don't really like us because we're just taxing the hell out of them. This looks like it's one to go. Quite honestly, this looks like we can. It is boosting equality though, so that's not too bad. It looks like not many people like this tax, obviously. Although this is basically how we're collecting all of our money. What would happen if we just completely abolished it? I don't know. We could obviously bump it up to 512 billion and collect a ton of money, but people wouldn't be too keen on us after that. So I don't think we're going to do that quite yet. Anyway, we have 62 political capital to burn, so we have a lot of policies that we could introduce, but I don't think we really want to introduce any. I don't think there really is anything that we could sort of introduce. I mean, let's go have a look at this. We never really have a look at how popular our policies are. Let's go and have a look at our least popular policies. Compulsory foreign language lessons. That's not too popular. No, there's quite a lot of unpopular policies that we have, to be honest. Although we do have a large amount of very popular policies, such as the space program. Yes, yes, and the Mars program, both on 74% popularity. That's wonderful, don't you think? I think it's pretty good. Jury trial, if requested. Why don't we boost that up? That'll make liberals a heck of a lot happier with us. Never really used the jury trial before. That's nice. That's really, really nice, actually. Let's do that. In fact, you know what? While we're there, let's have a look at the compass. Where are we now? We are on turn 55 now, and we are 62% liberal and 23% socialist. So that's quite surprising, really, because I don't consider we're that socialist of a country. I don't know. For turn 1, 2, 3, 4, we were all over here, and then we became massively more liberal. I don't really know how that works, but it doesn't matter. Let's get back to business here. We still have a slight budget deficit of around 4 or 5 billion. I'm expecting that to increase, even though GDP did increase, which is here, which is nice, which means we have approximately returned to pre-crash levels, I think, which means that our income should be evening out. Small budget deficit of 10 billion. That's fine. I would expect us to either be having a slight surplus or a minor deficit next turn. So that's what I'm planning for anyway. Religious people don't really like us. They're not too keen on us. Not too keen on us indeed. Their membership though is pretty darned low. They don't really like us. Yeah, that's not surprising considering we just, you know, introduced or allowed same-sex marriage. Not really an issue for us. How are our reserves looking? Yeah, wow. There's nothing to complain about there. Pre-crash levels. Yeah, we look like our GDP is sort of back on track. As long as the global economy continues to grow, then I really hope that our GDP can grow with it. That's awesome. Allowing GM crops. Well, what is the price of food like at the moment? It's starting to build, and it's gonna start to build as soon as the cyclones, or soon as, I don't know. There's gonna be a water shortage soon, thanks to the increasing years. So that's a little bit of a bummer. But we are going to actually allow GM crops. Yeah, we have to be honest. We don't really have a choice. Click to return to government. We will do that. Ministerial scandal. Yeah, that doesn't really matter for us. GDP is highest I think I've ever seen it. That's awesome. That's really, really good. We do have a budget surplus. So just as I predicted, we do have a slight budget surplus, and that's awesome. I really, really hope that the global economy just continues to grow so that our GDP can get as big as it possibly can, because we have a heck of a lot of income. We have a heck of a lot of income, and that's awesome. That's really, really good. Okay, 7 turns towards the next election. Not sure if we'll make it in this episode, but we might make it in the next episode. We'll have to wait and see. Budget report, budget surplus of 17.07 billion. Well, what can we do with that? There's not really that much we can do with it, to be honest. Unemployment looks like it's leveling out at the very bottom, which is nice. Poverty is low, but not low enough. Let's scale this back, shall we? Yeah, maybe there. Yeah, let's scale it back to there. That should reduce poverty further, because it looked like, yeah, it looked like the alcohol tax was pretty much the only thing holding it back. So that should happen. Okay, retail merger. Yeah, why not? It doesn't really matter for us at the moment. That might reduce inequality. That might reduce equality actually. So that's not too great. We have a 17.07 billion budget surplus. What can we do with that? What can we do with that, Dosh? Honestly, there's not much we can do apart from, you know, just cutting either income tax or the flat income tax. Could cut it a little bit. I suppose we can, but we sort of want to keep our heads above the water financially. Whoa, economic miracle. You have shown exceptional skill in managing the economic affairs of the nation. The people owe their wealth and prosperity to you. To your remarkable economic genius. Well, I wasn't aware that we were doing anything special. Here's that water shortage I predicted, so so that's just great. That's just great indeed. Oh well. That's going to start to boost up our price of food, which is a little bit annoying. GDP is very, very strong at the moment, and we still have a massive budget surplus. I say massive. Massive in terms of, for me or you probably, unless you're Bill Gates, obviously. But tiny for a government. 6 billion is not very much for a government. Propose the Freedom Act. It doesn't really matter. We're quite liberal already. Liberals quite like us. That's good. There's not really very much we can do about this water shortage. I mean, let's face it, it's linked to the average temperature and the year, and the average temperature in itself is linked to the year, and I suppose CO2 emissions, but that doesn't really matter anyway. There's not too bad, to be honest. High earnings have remained semi-stagnant. Middle earnings have remained pretty stagnant as well. Poor earnings have gone up by a lot. A lot. Like, wow. Food price obviously is going to start to increase. It's going to start to increase rapidly. So I would not be surprised if we ended up with a food crisis. So just to warn you, I think that's going to happen. GDP increased by a little bit. How's the global economy looking? Global economy looks like it's stagnating. That's not good. That is not good. I would like to see our GDP go as high as it absolutely can. I mean, if you just look at this bar, we're so close to maxing it out. I mean, education, we've quite clearly maxed out. GDP, we are very, very close to doing so. So that's not too bad. In fact, you know what? We could just scale back all of our pollution controls. Why don't we do that, actually? Let's take a hard look at what's going on in GDP, or what's reducing GDP, and then we can just cancel it. Obviously, we can't do anything about cyclones. That's not too much of an issue. Capital gains tax, 9 billion. Reducing GDP by around 1%. Let's cancel that. What else? What else will we want to get rid of? Petrol tax. Petrol tax is bringing around 10 billion in. It's not really affecting GDP that much at all, is it? No, not really. Yeah, so we'd have to... Yeah. We'd have to move it quite substantially before it started having an impact on GDP. So currently the petrol tax doesn't really matter for us. We'll keep that implemented. And let's see, next turn we should see a very, very steep increase in GDP. Hopefully we do. We might not. It does look like it is approaching the top. The top of the graph. That's nice. That is very, very nice. Limit automated trading. Let's abolish this, perhaps. Yeah, let's abolish this. Yeah, why not? Let's lower that. And we should see GDP reach an all-time high. As long as the global economy is on our side, then that is fine. If it's not on our side, well, then I think we'll be in trouble. Then I definitely think we'll be in trouble. Our currency strength. Our currency is pretty strong. Our currency is pretty strong indeed. That sort of only matters for like trading with other countries. That's fine. Energy efficiency. Energy efficiency is quite high. That's awesome. That's really good. What is this? Wages. Wages are pretty low. Wages are pretty darned low. I don't know. Religious symbols in school will introduce the ban. Why not? And we'll go to the next turn as well. Hopefully seeing our GDP peak. If it doesn't, then I shall be disappointed. That looks like a peak. That looks like a peak to me. I don't know. We'll have to wait until next turn to actually find out if we've made it. We have a super high GDP, and that's awesome. Let's build a nuclear power station. It doesn't really matter. Okay. Wow. 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 Cyclones, average temperature, still increasing. Doesn't really matter. CO2 emissions, probably on the increase. Yeah, they are. It doesn't really matter, because, I mean, let's face it, the cyclones and the water shortage would have developed themselves anyway. We've just sort of helped them along their way. We've made it a tiny bit shorter. Can we get to the general election this turn? You know what? I think we can, but I think we're going to run out of time. Wow. Okay. 85 years life expectancy. That's awesome. Looks like our GDP did in fact peak. That looks like it's flatlining at the very, very top. Let's go and have a look on this graph. Yeah, we're at the top. We're at the top. We've made it. We have GDP that is so darn large that it's just wow. Wow. That's crazy. And that's something that I'm very, very proud of. In fact, obesity, food price. Yeah, not surprised. Not surprised food price is increasing. Not much we can do about that, to be honest. There's not a heck of a lot we can do. This water shortage is really, really impacting us. So I think I'll leave it there. I mean, there's nothing else we can sort of really do. I mean, we've done a really, really good job. But now everything sort of goes tits up. So I hope you join me next time. So ladies and gentlemen, my name's been Open Potato. If you've enjoyed the video, then please remember to like and subscribe. We're getting this video to 6 likes, so make sure you smash that like button. And I will see you next time. Bye.